What's up everyone, this is FP6 bringing you some more Go Battle League battles here in the Fossil Cup, and in today's video I'm running a pretty fun, kind of spicy team in the Fossil Cup with Shadow Mawile in the lead, Pelipper on the safe swap, and then Ludicolo running Bubble as the fast move in the back. I know on PvP Pokes rankings and on a lot of other teams that I have seen running Ludicolo, people have been running Razor Leaf as the fast move for a lot more fast move pressure, but I kind of enjoyed running Bubble, and this allowed Lutacolo to get to a lot of charge moves. I am running Leaf Storm and Hydro Pump as the charge moves on my Lutacolo. So let's jump right into these battles and see how this team performed. Ludicolo is always a fun Pokemon to use because it just kind of dances all over the place and looks really silly, but Leaf Storm hits like a truck, and Hydro Pump is a pretty nice nuke for the steel types as well. So my opponent makes a critical error here. They won the lead really hard, but then they brought in cavalier onto the Pelipper, which is definitely not a response. And so I am going to take advantage of this situation and try to leave this matchup with as much energy stored as possible. Jellicent lead is a little bit awkward. But Pelipper, if you go straight Hurricane and you successfully shield up Shadow Balls, can at least take it to the 2-shield scenario against that Jellicent. They bring in a Lucario here, and my opponent was in fact running the team that I posted a video on previously, the Jellicent Double Fighter. And as we know, Pelipper is very, very tough for that backline. They went for an interesting strategy here of just double shielding, farming down, and now this Lucario has all this energy. But I am totally going to sacrifice this Mawile. Even if that was a nuke, it wouldn't have mattered because I knew that Ludicolo was going to be my win condition. In this particular match, I still had Energy Ball as the charge move on my Ludicolo, but right after this game, I switched it to Leaf Storm for that reason right there, because I would have loved to be able to one-shot that thing. All right, we're able to come back from that lead and take that game. Swampert lead, we have two better responses in the back, so I immediately go into Pelipper, met by a Registeel, not good at all. I want to make sure that I get these Weather Balls off before the Zap Cannon debuff comes through. And depending on how my opponent wants to shield, I'm hoping that I can potentially get all shields down or flip switch advantage here. I know that it's probably going to take 2 more Weather Balls plus all this wing attack damage to flip swap, but I have to start shielding to convince my opponent to start shielding as well. So I'm always trying to overfarm a little bit here to throw my opponent off on their count. And at this point, I am fully committed to double shielding, farming down to try to regain switch advantage in my favor. And I'm going to be able to do it. Registeel is not able to get to another move. That's pretty good for me. But my Pelipper is very debuffed here. Out comes the Lucario. And I'm just going to go for as much chip damage here as possible. They do commit a shield on that Weather Ball. And now I'm going to go for Hurricane here, hoping that they don't think that I have enough energy to get to the Hurricane, but they shield that up as well. Nice play. If I would have went for triple Weather Ball, we would have got more overall damage on this Lucario. They go for an undercharged power-up punch because they want to ramp up and be able to one-shot something in the back. Understandable play, but I will be able to get some Weather Ball chip damage here. And my Mawile is a total sacrifice at this point because I know it's not going to get the matchup that it needs. Bye-bye Mawile, and Ludicolo is going to have to clean up. Easily going to be able to take out the Swampert, and then I'll be able to bubble down at that Lucario, and we're able to come back from that tough lead. The Pelipper into Registeel matchup, if your opponent commits no shields like that and plays greedy, you can just flip switch advantage. Okay, pretty good lead here. But I also have Pelipper that can hang with this as well. My opponent switches in their own Pelipper. This is kind of an awkward Pokemon for this team to deal with, especially since my Ludicolo is running Bubble. I'm going to tank a move and then go into my own Pelipper. Luckily, they threw immediately, so we are on even energy here. I'm anticipating that my Pelipper is going to lose the CMP tie because of my low attack stats, so I do let them throw first. And at this point, I'm hoping Weather Ball plus wing attacks will be enough to take out this Pelipper, and I will leave this matchup with a lot of energy stored. I knew that this was just going to be a Weather Ball. I can easily tank this. And now I have a Pelipper that is very loaded on energy. They bring in the Lucario, and I learned from my previous mistake, I'm just going to go straight Weather Ball here and see what they want to do. I'm one wing attack away from another Weather Ball. So we're going to throw this, and I get both shields, able to get to another Weather Ball here, and then I might even try to go for a power-up punch snipe with my Mawile. That's exactly what I do, but they end up throwing right there, anticipating my swap. Nice play. Let's see what they have in the back. I'm definitely going to bring out my Lutacolo to farm this down and get a jump start on energy. And what is in the back? It is a Gyarados, and that Leaf Storm would have done massive damage to that. Good game. Dugong in the lead? What in the world? This is the first Dugong that I have seen in the Fossil Cup, so definitely a surprise. And this is kind of an unfortunate matchup. They are hitting for resisted damage the entire time, whereas I'm hitting for neutral damage with Fire Fang and then super effective damage with Power Up Punch. And the Dugong still can take this in the Zero Shield, going straight Icy Wind. That is absolutely insane. Shadow Mawile is very, very glassy. And you can see my IVs on the screen there. I have a terrible IV Shadow Mawile and a really bad IV Ludicolo as well. So I'm just going to soft lose the lead and then farm down with Pelipper and have a lot of energy stored. Out comes Jellicent. Because I have such an energy advantage, I do not want to bait on this first move. They shielded up, correct play. I really need to get to another Hurricane here. And they Bubble Beam bait me, that is so unfortunate. I'm hoping that since now they know that I'm debuffed, they will let this go through and I'll be able to get some damage on the Jellicent, and I am able to get that, thank goodness. At this point, I have to shield up the Shadow Ball because I can't fast move down that Jellicent with Bubble from my Ludicolo. So farming up, then I'm going to throw the Weather Ball and see where they want to spend their shield. They end up shielding the Weather Ball, so whatever they have in the back is very weak to Pelipper. I now can farm this down with my Ludicolo. I can bubble this down, and what is in the back? It's a Swampert. Oh man, that is not what Swampert wants to see, that dancing pineapple there. Good game. Gyarados in the lead. Okay, I do not know what the fast move is, but I insta-swapped my Pelipper. It ended up being a Dragon Breath Gyarados, so there is a case to be made that I could have stayed in there because I triple resist the dragon type damage. But now I'm gonna go for a Weather Ball bait and see what they want to do. They did successfully get the crunch debuff on me, which is really rough. At this point, I'm just gonna go straight Weather Ball spam because I need as much damage on this Gyarados as possible. And they ended up double shielding, very surprising. I was very tempted to shield this to get this Weather Ball off, but recognizing that it's Dragon Breath, I believe I bring in Mawile here. And I'm going to try to go for a pretty aggressive farm down, and then hopefully be able to one-shot something in the back with Play Rough. Stab Play Rough from a Shadow Mawile is going to do massive damage. They go for Crunch, and they don't get the debuff, thank goodness. What is in the back? Okay, out comes a Swampert. And see you later, Swampert, because this Play Rough hits like an absolute truck. Oh my goodness, and in the back is a Lucario. I'm going to catch this power-up punch on my Ludicolo, and then be able to apply a good amount of pressure with the Bubble Fast move. And at this point, we're going to be able to solidify this game. And the farm down that I got with Mawile was definitely clutch there, being able to Play Rough the Swampert in the back did massive damage there. Got a Leaf Storm the Lucario for the Flexor at the end there. Good game. Mawile into cavalier. Amazing lead. We want to maintain this matchup as much as possible. Out comes Jellicent, and you see that I'm very, very quick to the response to my Lutacolo. Now, if I lose switch advantage here, it's not the end of the world because I still have Pelipper that has play against the cavalier as well. It's more so important that my Lutacolo just never has to see that cavalier. Able to get to another Leaf Storm here. And the opponent lets it go knowing that they survived. That's totally fine. Lutacolo is out of the picture, so it never has to see the cavalier, and that's exactly what I want. Now I could bring in either Pokemon to farm this down. Let's see what I opt to do. I opt to go into Pelipper, because if they bring out the Cavalier, I'm still going to be able to hit for a good amount of damage here. The counters are resisted, but honestly, they add up over time. Cavalier outputs so much damage, and this is just an Acid Spray. I'm recognizing that they're weak to Pelipper in the back, and they're just going to try to fast move me down with these debuffed counters. So I have back-to-back Weather Balls here. If they shield, I can just immediately get rid of this Cav. Oh, I think I'm actually going to opt for a farm down here. Shield the Acid Spray, and then, okay, snipe down the Cav with the Mawile. And in the back is that Swampert. I need to be able to get to, hopefully, a Hurricane. But they Hydro Cannon me, and then they're going to be able to farm me down. That's really unfortunate. So I'm now hoping that maybe I can just do enough damage to this Swampert to put it in Weather Ball range, but it's still kind of out of Weather Ball range. I'm going to commit to getting to the Hurricane, and we are able to get there to knock out this Swampert. So prime example there of I was totally fine with losing switch advantage as long as it meant that my Ludicolo was not going to be hard countered in the back. Amazing lead once again. Let's see if we're going to fight for swap here. They make a move into Jellicent once again, and I'm very quick to the response on the Ludicolo once again. Now, if my Ludicolo had better IVs, it would be able to tank these Shadow Balls a lot easier. But these Shadow Balls are very, very threatening. I felt like this was going to be a Bubble Beam, and they do in fact go for a Bubble Beam. They sneak a Hex right there, really unfortunate. But I'm going to throw this Leaf Storm, and they end up shielding it, and then I will be able to get to one more Leaf Storm. But I'm like essentially double debuffed now, so they let that go through. And I'm going to be able to get more farm with whatever I bring in, but I will be getting hit by a charge move. Not ideal, so I bring in the Mawile. Actually opt to bring in the Mawile at this point, and they go for Bubble Beam, thank goodness. I can easily farm this down now, and then most likely going to blind swap into my Pelipper here. But I'm going to wait to see what they bring in. They ended up bringing in Lantern. Thank goodness I did not blind swap into my Pelipper. So I have to chip this with as much damage as I can do here. I land the Play Rough. This Lantern is still too healthy. I have to get this thing lower in health. Even though these Fire Fangs are resisted, I need to chip down this Lantern more. Gonna throw a Power Up Punch to do as much damage as possible here. Hardly does anything. And they, thank goodness they don't commit to the farm down there. I cannot shield this because I will just get farmed down and then nuked on my Pelipper. I'm trying to farm this down, but the wing attacks are resisted. They still have that Cavalier that I have to deal with. I have to farm up a lot of energy. They swap into their Cav at this point. Gonna go for the Weather Ball bait, and then I need to land a Hurricane on this thing. I get the shield. And then we lose the CMP tie here. This should just be a drill run. It is. And now watch what happens here. This was such an unfortunate conclusion to this game. Right after I throw this move, I stutter for one turn. And now we're desynced, and it should have been a simultaneous feint on that Lantern. But because of that desync, I end up losing that game. Really unfortunate there, but very close game. Okay, I have to go straight into my Pelipper against this Jellicent, and they bring in a Razor Leaf Ludicolo. So my wing attacks are hitting for super effective. This Weather Ball is double resisted, but I'm trying to bait a shield. I do get a shield, and now I will commit to the Hurricane, because this will one-shot the Ludicolo if they let it go through. What does my opponent want to do? They give me switch advantage. I have shield advantage and switch advantage now, and at this point, the game is definitely in my favor. However, this farm down with the Jellicent is going to be pretty difficult for my Ludicolo to deal with. I'm really hoping that they go for Shadow Ball here, so I will shield this up, and it is a Shadow Ball, thank goodness. We'll have to see what they have in the back. They're going to throw another move. I know that I survive this Shadow Ball, so I will let it go through. And I'm going to throw the Leaf Storm right here. This is easily going to take out the Jellicent if they opt to no shield. and they let it go. What is in the back? It is a Lucario, so I'm just going to instant swap into my, my Mawile. There is a case to be made. I should have thrown that Leaf Storm before getting out, because Lucario does win CMP against the Ludicolo, and that would have burned their final shield. But either way, we were still able to take that game. Good game. Okay, Melmetal in the lead. Kind of awkward. Another Jellicent safe swap, and I'm able to be quick on the Ludicolo once again. And I think, yeah, this time I do opt to successfully shield up the Shadow Ball. Going to throw Leaf Storm right here and see what they want to do. Most likely going to shield it so they can rip off another Shadow Ball. And they do shield it. I'm able to get to another Leaf Storm. And we are going to see what they want to do here. They let that go through. But this is kind of a tough call. I end up shielding this right here, which is arguably a mistake. But I really did not want my Pelipper to be aligned with that, with this Melmetal here. I go for Hydro Pump, but I'm like quadruple debuffed here, and this does no damage. Oh man, feels bad. And this Melmetal is farming up so much energy here. What is in the back? I'm down a shield. They are running Thunderbolt. That's going to one-shot my Pelipper, and it's going to do neutral damage to my Mawile. This Melmetal is going to be a big problem. Most likely they're going to superpower and then dip here. And I swap my Pelipper. In the back is a Lutacolo. Trying to do as much damage as possible here. Going to go for a Weather Ball bait. But I should have recognized that they already knew that their Melmetal was going to be their win condition. But they have so much energy stored on their Melmetal anyways. I am in a very tough spot here. So you see them stop attacking so they can get more farm, which was a really nice play on their part. We could have both stopped attacking and waited out the timer, and then I could have tried to fast move them down, but that was going to be a tough end game there, and my opponent played it very well. Good game. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the content. Let me know down in the comments what team you're running and what league you're playing in, and I'll catch you all in the next video.